Good morning, kids, or whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. I know last week I said that it was probably the most famous parable, the story of the prodigal son. But today's story might also be a close runner up or maybe even more famous. Today's parable is called the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan. Maybe you've heard that before. So, in today's story, a man approaches Jesus and he says, "What do I have to do to get eternal life?" And Jesus says, "You have to love God with all your heart and love your neighbor." And so the man says, "Got it. But who is my neighbor? Who is my neighbor?" And so Jesus tells this story. And he says, there's a man who is walking down the road and he gets like beat up by robbers, right? And they take all his possessions and they beat him up. And the man is in such a sad state. He is just laying on the road, right? He can't do anything to help himself. He needs someone to rescue him, to help him. Now, the first person walking down the road to see the man was a priest. And when the person was hearing this story, he's like, "Oh, I bet the priest is going to show me how to be a good neighbor." But Jesus says the priest just walks right on by the man, doesn't stop. And it says that the next person to walk by is someone from the tribe of Levi, right? And so that's like a Jewish person who the tribe of Levi is where all the priests came from because the Levites took the Bible very seriously and they tried to protect it and defend it, right? And so I'm sure the man's like, okay, so the priest didn't, but the Levi, he's going to teach us how to be a good neighbor. But it says that the Levite, he walked right on past the man too. Now, the third person to walk past this beaten man was a Samaritan, right? And now, Samaritans, the Jewish people, did not like the Samaritans. They did not have one good thing to say about a Samaritan. But in Jesus' story, the Samaritan sees the man and it says he has compassion on him. And he tends to his wounds and he puts him on his donkey, right? The Samaritan gets off his own donkey and puts this man on his donkey and carries him to an inn and tells the innkeeper, like, "I will pay to have this man stay here. And if his stay is longer than what my money is good for, I'll come back and pay you the rest." Wow. This Samaritan, who I'm sure the person listening to the story was like, well, if the priest wasn't a good neighbor and the Levite was a good neighbor, there's no way a Samaritan is going to be a good neighbor. But who is the good neighbor, right? And that's that's how he ends his story. He says, "Who was the neighbor?" And the man says, "The one who had compassion," right? Now, it's interesting because the man initially asked Jesus, "Who is my neighbor?" He wanted to know, who exactly am I supposed to love, right? And the implication, right? The what is underneath that question is, who am I allowed not to love? Who am I supposed to love and who am I allowed not to love? Who is my neighbor? But Jesus ends the story by asking, who was the neighbor, right? And what Jesus is doing, he's saying, we can make ourselves a neighbor to everyone, even the people that we don't like or that we think we're not supposed to like. We can make ourselves a neighbor to them and have compassion on them, right? There's so many other like layers and cool things in the story that we're not going to get into just right now in this story, because I think that lesson is enough for us today. That when God tells us to love our neighbor, we might say, who does that include? Just the people that live next to me, the people that I sit next to at school? And Jesus says, no, you can make yourself a neighbor to everyone who needs it, to everyone who needs compassion and love. That is who we are supposed to love. I love this story. I hope you enjoyed it too. Next week, we will have another Bible story. But until then, I will talk with you later.